What is up, my beautiful people? Um, Today's video is going to be kind of a jumble of a big reflection, really, on just my first semester in med school. I have my exam coming up this coming Friday. Today is December 18th. It's a Wednesday. And yeah, I just have a lot of thoughts on med school and how it's actually shifted. A lot has changed now, so I have so much to update you guys on. But for a recap, if you guys don't know, I was in my first block, which was anatomy and fundamentals of medical science. And here at Albany Medical College, it's kind of like a hazing process. And I just finished that recently, and now I'm going into my CPR block, which is cardio, pulmonary, renal. In other words, your heart, your lungs, and your kidneys. Content is crazy, bro. Like, so less content, but harder content. Which then allows me to have more time, is what I thought in my last video. But what actually happens is you fill up that empty space with extracurricular activities and stuff like that. So, for example, I applied for a leadership position for the family medicine interest group because I'm interested in family medicine. I have a meeting in an hour for admissions student ambassador. In layman terms, that just means that I am trying to apply to be able to be a part of the next incoming class's admission process. And if this works out, then I will be a part of the interviewing process for any of you guys applying to this school starting in January 2025. So next month. I've also been more involved in volleyball. And I also did apply to go to a family medicine medical conference. So physicians, students, and people all over the country come to these conferences to talk about hot topics. And when that time comes around, I'll definitely vlog that for you guys as well to get an insider's view on what medical conferences are like. And I'm also trying to start a interest group here that goes into private practice, insurance, legality, just stuff like that, because it's kind of a taboo topic to talk about in med school because there is some beef between private practices and hospitals at the moment. I don't know if you guys know, but a couple of years ago, maybe like a decade or two, I don't know how long exactly, but a while back, 25% of doctors were in hospitals and 75% of doctors were in a private clinic. In today's day and age, in 2024, almost 25% of doctors are in private practice and 75% of doctors are in hospitals. And it's mostly due to the fact that hospitals are buying out clinics. So we got stuff like that going on. So I want to kind of address that and what's going on there. And I'm really interested in that. So I am also, as you can tell, there's a lot that I'm trying to do right now, but I'm also trying to play jazz music for patients and healthcare workers at the hospital cafeteria. And I just got an email back because I've been waiting to hear back from this person who organizes all this for like a month now, and I was kind of worried they were gonna be like, no. Okay. Looks like we're pretty much good to go. I just need to let them know what type of music we're playing, what type of instruments. I think they're just worried that we're gonna play like some kind of like heavy metal or something, because that would be crazy. Can you imagine, like, you're going into lunch at the hospital and all you hear is like that would be crazy. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to kind of let me lay out what the rest of the day is gonna look like. So I'm going to head into my virtual meeting in an hour, so I'm gonna get some food ready, eat that, get into that meeting. Afterwards, I did get a request that I do a tour of the library, so I'll do that sometime throughout the day today. Might meet up with some friends to do some studying later, and that's pretty much it. So I'm currently doing some practice problems, and one of the biggest reflections that I've personally gained from my first semester of medical school is the fact that you don't know crap, bro. Like, you actually do not know anything. And no matter how much you study, you just still don't know. And the further you dig, the more you don't know. And I think that's like, I don't know, maybe I can put up a curve. There's like this learning curve where it's like when you first start out, you think like, oh, you know a lot, right? And then the more you learn, after a certain threshold, you realize, oh shit, I don't know crap. So then you kind of like go down, and then you become a professional in that field, and then your confidence goes back up in your knowledge, right? And I think I'm in this downward slope of like, wow, like, I mean, I knew I didn't know much, but just the level of I don't know, it's insane. But it's also weird because usually, like in undergrad, you would go into an exam feeling prepared or you would feel unprepared, right? So you go in, you're like, okay, you know what, I studied, like I did a bunch of practice problems, like I covered all the content. In med school, you can never really cover all the content in the time given to you. It's just not possible. So you go into every exam feeling like crap and come out of every exam feeling like crap. And then you get your exam score and somehow I just pass. And it's weird because now that the semester of med school is over, I have my exam this Friday. Am I confident? Hell no. I am not confident at all. Am I stressed about it? I'm not. And it's kind of weird because it's like, usually I would be, but I'm so used to just not feeling confident anymore or just not knowing stuff. But then somehow pulling it out of my, like, I can do it. And it's really weird. Like, for example, right now, I'm doing a question on EKG readings, which is the readings of the heart. And given the evidence, you have to know that it is Wolff-Parkinson's White disease based on this delta wave. And I can post the picture of that here. And it's this tiny little thing. It's literally that little whoop. And the reason why that happens is because you're bypassing the AV node. So it causes an early ventricular contraction, which is what the QRS complex is for. And yeah, that's cool. Like, oh wow, like look at him talk about, medical stuff. That's not the point. The point is, I just have to memorize that a delta wave equals this because of this. But the further you dig into stuff, like you just realize like there are so many anomalies. Like for example, all the questions that we do during preclinicals are very textbook based, right? So a patient presents with this. What is it? Oh, it's this because these are the typical symptoms. But in reality, most patients don't look like textbook cases. They either don't have certain things or they have things that they shouldn't have and all this other stuff. And there's so many complications like what drugs they're on, like their living conditions, all this stuff, right? We're on easy mode, all right? And I'm getting cooked. So yeah, I will say a humbling experience, but I've learned to trust my instincts. Like in undergrad, I would trust my instincts here, and I would trust my experience in studying here. It is now 50-50. I have trusted my gut so much. When I study with my friends, they say that I have insane gut because I don't know why the answer to this or what I'm doing, but for some reason I can get it right because I just have this gut feeling and I learned to trust my instincts more. I do realize that, you know what, it's not always about confidence in myself, like knowledge-wise. It's more so confidence in the process. And I think I'm beginning to trust the process more. So yeah, that's a huge reflection for me. After first semester, I never thought I would get to this type of a low in my life where I'm just like, there's no way for me to know everything, but that's just how it is. All right, I'm gonna keep studying. All right, time to log into this meeting. Kombucha. Yo. This guy's like peeping through the camera video. This meeting is for the MMIs. So, and if you guys don't know what MMIs are, go check out my last video. I'll link it right here. And an MMI is a multiple mini interview. And I'm not really sure what it is, like what my role is going to be. Like I'll probably do one of the questions, but I'm really curious to see like the process of like what I'm supposed to do on this end. Like, is there a checklist? Like, is there a set of questions? Like, I don't know. And I don't even know if I'm allowed to share it with you guys. So we'll just see. So I quickly want to shout out Costco dark chocolate almond cream. Wait. Almond cream almonds? This is so good. These are the best chocolate covered almonds I've ever eaten. So good.
We'll try to keep this brief, definitely under a half hour, just to cover the MMI process and how it all works.
Yo, I just finished that meeting and I am at a loss for words. Like, so essentially that session just pretty much laid out everything. Like, at least from my perspective, like in the interviews that are done, they pretty much just told us straight up how to get like a perfect score on an interview. And I don't think I can share that because I don't want to get canceled or like, yeah, like I don't think I can share all that information. But what I can say is I would highly, highly recommend you check out my previous video on interviews. I'll link that right here one more time. Highly recommend watching that video, and I highly recommend that you listen to my conspiracy theory. That's all I'm gonna say. But I am shook by this process. That's just my honest reaction right now. Check out my video. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Time to head to school and get some studying done. All right. So as I'm going to school, I kind of want to talk about a hot topic that's been going on the news recently about the insurance company and the shootings for the CEO. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of that as well. But if you haven't, quick summary is that this guy killed the CEO of a large health insurance company out of retaliation of something about its policies or something. And during the same timeline, another large health insurance company, I believe Blue Cross Blue Shield, their CEO had said that they were going to stop paying for patients' anesthesia costs after a certain period of time, if the surgery goes over that certain period of time. And of course, people were going to be really upset about that. And then after the shooting happened, they overturned or overruled that judgment. So, like, they're really out here to get you because they knew what they were doing was bad. When you start a private practice, or just being doctors in general, I think half the time is a battle with insurance because they get to decide whether or not a doctor's treatment plan will get paid for or not in the US. So let's say a doctor says, hey, this patient needs X, Y, and Z. If the insurance company says we're not paying for that, and the patient can't pay for it, so therefore it's just not allowed. And it's just not gonna happen. So another issue ongoing right now is with Medicare. So for those of you who don't know what Medicare is kind of like the US's version of universal healthcare. It's a government insurance, health insurance. But there's Medicare Advantage plan, and it's very misleading because people think, oh, it's, you know, like the better version of Medicare. But Medicare Advantage plan is actually it's a private insurance company, so it's not necessarily right under the government. It just has the name Medicare in it, and people are getting screwed over by this Medicare Advantage plan because if they were on the regular Medicare, they would have been covered for things, but because they're on this private insurance Medicare Advantage plan, they're getting kind of screwed over. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about the whole health insurance and all that, if you have any thoughts, because I'm genuinely interested, just because, man, society's just going to crap. So I just finished scheduling 6 sessions for the interview, so we have to do 6 total. And so I did that, and then I'm gonna do some practice questions. You want to do some together, or
Yeah.
are you doing them right now?
I'm not doing it right now. I'm doing renal review, but I also need to practice.
Renal.
Dude, it's so cold over here.
Really?
It sucks. I hate it just squeaks every time I move. It sucks.
I like my suitcase. Does rheumatic fever have anything to do with with the renal disease? I don't remember. And that causes. Oh, so it's like a 2-step problem like that. It's tricky. Dude, this was lupus.
What in the
What in the FMS?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I remember doing this one. It was the deposition of immune complex containing DNA and anti-DNA. And they said that this is for lupus nephritis. Type 3 hypersensitivity. But type 3 is with nephrotic. What is going on?
Yeah, that sums it up.
Dude, what is going on right now? What am I supposed to do with this? They found a 37-year-old man unresponsive next to a tree during a thunderstorm. That is very specific.
I had that question.
All right, don't tell me.
Yeah,
He ain't breathing. His pupils are fixed and dilated. Fern-like pattern on his skin and the lower extremities. Partial thickness burns in both arms. Did he get electrocuted? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation has started. There's no return of spontaneous circulation. Dude, I want to choose extensive deep tissue burns because of what you said, but I feel like this is a heart problem.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Whatever. But cardiac arrhythmia, I guess AFib counts as a cardiac arrhythmia.
In this question, I didn't realize.
I got it right.
Yeah, I didn't realize he got struck by lightning.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, it literally says he's
Just said he was
unresponsive next to a tree.
tree in a thunderstorm. I was like, oh, I guess he.
Dude, he has fern-like patterns on his skin and thick burns.
I didn't know what that meant. I thought he was overdosed on opioids and he was
You thought he
barely breathing under a tree.
Hold on. He thought a man overdosed when he was under a tree in a thunderstorm, and he has fern-like patterns on his skin and he had burns on his arms. You think he had a drug overdose? You need to leave. You need to leave. Quinidine. We have to know that, don't we? No, I hate drugs. I freaking hate drugs. What is quinidine?
Think about it. If you're giving these drugs to treat arrhythmias, why would you increase the heart rate?
That's facts. You know, that's facts. The fact that I still don't have this is crazy. All right, we're gonna do a all-in medical. This is so cringe. Dude, I'm cringing so hard right now. All right, we're gonna do an all-in medical college library tour for you guys. So here we have the automatic door, faulty 50% of the time. If you keep coming here, we have metal detector that I don't think is ever on anyway. I don't think they ever even use this. Like, I don't know why it's here. All right, let's go. Hey, how you doing, Kenny? How you doing? Yeah, someone asked for a Albany Medical Library tour. I'm repping.
I'm on too.
All right, what are you studying, sir?
So I just did a block of UWorld questions on the kidneys, renal, and it's not looking good, bros.
It's not looking good. We'll see how the results are in the future because I just got cooked as well. All right, thank you for your time. So here we have a lot of the cubicles. This is where people like to study like one-on-one. No one really sits over here, but when people do sit over here, it's mostly for like socializing and stuff. Over here you have like the long tables. This is where a lot of people like to group study as well. If you follow me this way, we got whiteboards here. Usually there's markers and stuff like that for people to use, but we also have some printers over here. My favorite part of this library would have to be these couches down here. because they are mad comfortable. Super comfy. Is that Rocky? Okay, I'm not gonna disturb him because he looks like he's studying. Okay. Nah, he's procrastinating. What's up, Rocky? Hey, how you doing?
What's up? How you
How you
doing?
doing? How you doing?
Good.
I'm doing a quick video right now. Do you want to say a couple words? What are you studying?
I'm looking at first aid now to study some renal.
I love that.
See, everyone's studying renal right now because we're all cooked. It's
No, I'm cooked on everything.
Oh. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. All right. All right. These are the books. The books in the library are useless. No one actually reads them. This is not the law school. This is the medical school. We only read one book, and that's the first aid. All right. I will say that this library, if you haven't noticed by yet, there are no windows. It's pretty depressing. But we do have one highlight of this library. Let me show you. This is the pinnacle of this library. It's right over there. What a sight to behold. So to end the video, I kind of want to just talk about one last reflection of my first 4 or 5 years of med school here. I'm finally finishing off my first semester, and man, like, I forget how grateful of a position I'm in, like, all the time, just from the fact that, like, all my mentors are literally doctors, like, all my friends are med students. I was actually talking about, like, financially, like, I will be in $360,000 in loan debt, and that's not including interest by the end of my 4 years. I'm the first to be a doctor in my family, and my family has been through a lot of financial hardships, so I'm pretty much on my own for med school, let alone just the struggles to find the resources or the connections to even get up here, because, you know, I don't have any doctor connections in my life, but I'm here now, and, you know, like, even the loans that seem like a lot, like, it's not really a worry, because I know at the end of the day, as long as I become a doctor and I pursue my path and career, I can pay that off eventually. I'm at such a comfortable place in my life, and the only stress that I have is academics and to become a better person and a better doctor. That is such a humbling and an amazing position to be in. I will never take that for granted, and sometimes you forget, like, what you're doing because you're so caught up in books, like, all day. And he was like, sometimes you need to get out there and see some patients, because that's when you realize, like, yo, in a couple of years, that's no longer someone's patient. That's your patient. Your mistakes will impact their lives. Your decisions will impact their quality of life. Your confidence, you know, the gaps in the skill and the knowledge here and there, like, yeah, sure, it's whatever now, but there's going to be a day and a time, and it's coming very soon, where those patients are yours. And my ILC, which is my long-term clerkship, where I get to see patients, begins in a month. This time next year, I will be taking step 1. In a couple of months after that, I will be doing my rounds, where I am taking care of patients alongside doctors and doing my research to really just be the best that I can. So yeah, it's a lot to unravel, but man, I'm so happy to be where I am, and I'm so happy that you guys here are watching and enjoying the journey. And if there's anything that I can do to help others like me in my situation growing up, and they want to pursue a path in medicine, like, that's what I'm doing this for, honestly. Like, that's why I'm, you know, talking on YouTube. It's not to get, I mean, yeah, of course I want to get big, but it's not necessarily just to get big or to get famous or whatever, you know, like Medfluence or like all that. I just really want to help people in different ways, and I think that's what a doctor should do, to help others, and not just in medicine, but in our everyday lives. Thank you guys once again for joining me on my journey. Sorry for yapping on and on and on. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helped me out, and it'll get the message out to other students who may be interested. So please help me with my mission in that. Until next time, peace out.